A few weeks ago, I tried my hands at some 3D printing, and well, what I actually managed to do was I managed to make a little tiny piece to make my stem level here. The stem was sitting just a little bit too low, and I printed a little tiny piece to get it up. It took me like 5 versions and 4 hours to complete it, but I was very happy and very proud of myself for that little tiny piece. But then it got me thinking, are there more things that I can make? And I saw one thing online that had ultra light bar end plugs that were like 1 gram or something ridiculous, and I thought, well, I've got these in here that are like metal and they should be a little bit heavy, so maybe there's a chance to save a few grams and a chance to make something custom for my bike, which is probably a bit more important to me than a couple of grams. They do make like obviously these plastic ones here, but they're just a little bit boring. So what I need to do is now take the dimensions of this and the dimensions of the inside of the plug, and then I can start designing something to make for myself. Let's roll. So it was time to begin, and beginning off I had to quite literally take as many measurements as possible, such as the inside of the bar, the width of the bar tape, the current widths of the old bar plugs that I had in there, and ones that fit multiple different bars, and I also took measurements of different bars in the end as well, so got as many measurements as I could and then started making up from there. This is only my second attempt ever at using Fusion 360 to try and design 3D products. I'm pretty damn weak at it, and it takes me a very, very long time to do it. We are 2 versions in now, so here's number 1. Unfortunately, this bit was a little bit too wide, so I actually couldn't fit in there. But it looks pretty good, it feels pretty solid to be honest, and you can see where I'm trying to go with the writing. I'm writing Cycling Unboxed on there. More work to be done on that. Here's version 2, which did fit in much better, much more snugly. Things I've learned from here is that, well, can you see all the ridges here from the 3D printer? I think I need to shallow that angle up a little bit more so it's not, or maybe even steepen it so it's a little bit smoother. I'll figure that out. It's a little bit thin as well, and it could be doing a bit wider on the front. It did fit well, but I think I want to make these 2 notches a little bit wider just so it grips onto that bar tape a little bit better. Let's get into version 3. But with a lot of hit and miss and a lot of playing with it, I eventually got there in the end with a design that I was happy with. Well, it's taken me 5 versions to get there, from initial setup to trying to make it perfect and better, and just making sure the widths and all of the design is right and where I've got all these bobbles. But yeah, I've had a couple of failed attempts there, trying different settings and stuff, and then here is the final one. So you can see, well, I'll try and get it in the light as much as possible. It says Cycling Unboxed on there, so I'm going to paint that a little bit later, and that should look a lot better. And I'm going to print out a few more of these, so that is in the printer rolling now. Another bloody setback, it's happened again. I've got some duds up here, and now I've got to print out loads in one go, but it's failed. I've had too many failures, so I'm going to try gluing it this time. Oh yes, check it out everyone. 6 quality bar end plugs with my name on it. Okay, next up on the agenda, because it's kind of, well, you can see the layers in there, and ideally want this top writing face to be as flat as possible. So I'm going to see if it sands. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Then from there, we're going to have to prime. Then I can spray paint the inside matte black, which hopefully should hide the layering a little bit more. Then I can put whatever colors I want to on the writing. And finally, matte clear coat to once again hide those layers a little bit more. So let's get rolling. The next part was, well, the most laborious part, which was trying to delicately paint each individual one. I did get like a little technique down in the end, which made it a little bit quicker, but still there was loads to do because I have some more planned out, and well, it just took a long while, this bit. So be prepared for a lot of painting if you're going to do this. Here's the final product, and I'm going to say it, I'm very proud of myself for this one. I think they look really good, and especially when we get to on the bike. So here's the old one, and I used to quite like these silk ones. I thought they were quite tasteful. If I can get it in focus. So yeah, there it is. But here is my new ones, and well, I think the colour looks absolutely great. It goes very well with the bike, and yeah, it looks quite tasteful. It looks really good. They're a lot lighter. I'm going to do the weight in a second, but I'm super chuffed with how they turn out. Let me get this other one on. I will give it one small weakness, and that's, you can see it sticks out somewhat here, so I could have made it more rounded to blend in a little bit more. Maybe in future versions I'll do that. But yeah, as a whole, looks fantastic. Let's have a weigh-in, shall we? So here are the originals, the Silka ones, and well, they feel somewhat hefty, especially compared to these ones, and I'm expecting a big weight saving. Obviously a bit more weight on your bar ends probably reduces speed wobble, but with modern bikes nowadays, it does not matter. 28 grams, that is hefty for these expandy plug ones. I guess it's because they got real metal on them, which make them feel a little bit more solid. But a pair of these, 6 grams, 3 grams a piece. Pretty good saving, eh? Let's see what a normal bar end plug weighs. 7 grams, okay, only 1 gram heavier. I'm absolutely certain if I wanted to, I could make these almost another 1.5 grams lighter with ease. Just go a little bit thinner, but I wanted them to be like strong and rigid. These are absolutely solid. Ain't gonna break them, no way. Drop them, they're fine. I do have a question for you guys. Would you actually buy these? I mean, it did take me a fair amount of time, so I mean, it would have to be like 30 quid for like, I'll make 6 of them for you, but would that be worth it? Reason being, it's just so like delicate to paint all these little bits and stuff and try and make it look really good, and it takes a long process for that to happen as well, and then you would have to add shipping on top of that. So I don't know if it would be worth selling them, but let me know. It took me a few days. You can see I'm still in the same top, but I am like 3 days on now. But yeah, I'm gonna give these to some of my friends and let me know what you think. Would you like some of these? Are they cool? Just a fun project for me to do and makes my bike a little bit more custom. If you do have any further questions, you can message me down below, or you can find me up here on Instagram at Jason Cycling Unbox, and you can also message me privately there. I've been Jason, see you in another video.